we're going to pull this little pin. 2.5 millimeter Allen key, turn that counterclockwise. We are going to pull the pads out. Once the pads are removed, you can see how much dirt is inside of here. I'm going to spray brake cleaner inside of here. Brake cleaner is pretty abrasive. You should use alcohol, but I just got this in the garage. Once we got a bunch of brake cleaner in there, I've got this little tiny brush. This is actually a rifle cleaning brush, and it works absolutely amazing on so many different things. Using a rag, protecting the fork and the rest of it, we're gonna jet wash this with brake cleaner. That pressurized brake cleaner is really gonna push the dirt outside of the caliper, and we're gonna clean the whole thing. Sticking the rag through the brake caliper, we're gonna give it a nice wash. So last step, I'm gonna come in with dust off. If you don't have compressed air, this is a great option. Best if you have 2 tire levers, but you can get away with 1. What we're going to do is we're going to hold the one piston here and we're going to push the other one back. Push from the center of the piston. Now this lever has pushed the piston back. We're going to push down with the lower one. When you're pushing pistons back in the brake caliper, you want to do it very slowly. You don't want to force it. You want to just slowly push it back in. It should go in very slow. I've said that 3 times because it's very important. Do not want to do it rapidly. You want to push it back in very slowly. Same deal, the lower one's going to hold the piston and the upper one's going to push it back first. Okay, now the pistons are pushed back and cleaned professionally. Sram code ones in, and these were kind of old and weren't particularly good. I've been running these. The brake pads I have aren't worn out. They're Sram brake pads and they don't work that great. I have these brake pads in my 60-pound e-bike and they work fantastic and they're super cheap. The hard head ram pads come preloaded, so you don't have to put the metal clip around the edge. We're ready to go in the bike. The hard head ram pads come preloaded, so you don't have to put the metal clip around the edge. We're ready to go in the bike. These ram head brake pads are the blue ones. There's the chart right there. They're very aggressive and they work fantastic. Remove the clip. As you see, the metal piece is around the organic friction material. This is pretty hard to press in. We're going to use 2 hands here so I can get a better video of it, but you can use 1. That little bolt should line up real easy, and the torque on this is tight, but not too tight. Actually, it's not very tight at all. Last step, we're going to put the cotter pin back on the end. This is the last step everyone forgets. The rotor spins this way. There's an arrow right here. We are going to just take the sandpaper and just give it a nice little scuff against the grain, scuff it up. Don't have to go crazy on this. Last step on the rotor, we're going to soak it with brake cleaner. Don't forget there's a backside. Let me show you why using brake cleaner is so important. So that's why it's super important to use brake cleaner. That could be pad material, it could be grease, it could be dirt. We want to start with a very clean rotor. That's going to behave like a brand new rotor. Give it about 5 or 6 turns. I'm going to give it like 20. So there's a lot of rubbing going on. We got to reset the position of the brake caliper. Okay, loosen the brake caliper bolts. It'll be 5 millimeter. Some people will tell you to do this and kind of move the brake caliper and tighten it. The easiest way to do it is just to grab the brake lever and tighten it up. Adjust where the lever is. If they feel funny, you can adjust that. If you're not picky, just leave it alone.